a fine and furry Friday to all of you fabulous folks out there who are prepped, primed, and oh so ready for another installment of Disinformed After Dark, your favorite companion video cast. I'm Shane.
I'm John.
I'm Michael.
I'm Courtney.
Indeed, all of you are. All of those things.
Allegedly.
And Michael's contagious, so it's going to be...
I'm not contagious.
He just found out that he's negative.
Why John had to put that mask on.
It doesn't tell me what my results are without searching heavily for them. It's stupid.
What I like a lot is that before we were rolling, you were saying that you hadn't gotten results. Where you work, you didn't know, you didn't pay attention that you had to go through a separate portal, and it is the most astounding thing to me. Which is why I did, Shane, thank you for noticing, put on that filter, because the filter was labeled 6 pixels apart, which I felt like around Michael might be needed.
Yeah, Michael was expecting a direct data download to the brain.
I was expecting an email,
Oh, you got an email.
There is an email.
No.
Yes.
I never got a dang gum email.
A
No,
dang
you
gum.
definitely did.
Gum email.
I never got that daggum email, I'll tell you what.
Well, Michael, congratulations on finding out that you tested negative only months after being relevant.
Well, I mean, that hepatitis
Actually,
is something he was worried about.
A day less than a month. I got the test on November 24th, so...
Well, maybe this virus would go away if they stop testing.
Oh, novel idea.
No,
kind of hot take from when did
months
you make
ago.
That? Yeah, months ago. Yeah.
I don't need a vaccine for no disease I already don't have.
Hey, Michael, do us a favor here. Go in your email, type in "you have new lab results." Just let us know if anything came up.
All right.
Actually, in point of fact, what she meant to say is, Michael, do us all a favor. Pull your lower lip over your head and swallow.
Ooh.
I can't do it.
I hope this doesn't awaken anything inside.
It's John's new king.
I like chewing on my face.
Don't we all?
I typed "you have" and I have nothing other than "you've been selected to be tested." So
And also,
no.
do you see the one below it where it says clinical depression?
And Pornhub?
Have I talked to you all about my clinical depression?
I legally have to.
This isn't the satanic panic, my friend. You do not have to declare anything. You have no duty to report that you're clinically depressed.
I got to go to my
We all
next
are.
door neighbors and tell them that. Oh, no, wait, never mind. That's a different thing.
Here we
Anyway,
go.
continue.
For those of you who are not familiar with the general reason d'etre for all of us sitting here, we have a marvelous podcast that flees from your preferred provider app every single Monday morning, where we will discuss a random esoteric topic and then lie about it to one another. It's very entertaining when Michael's not speaking.
Yeah, he's right.
And then we have every single wonderful Wednesday a fun fanfic that we are reading, and it presently is the Hogwarts School of Prayer and Miraculous, which has been a lot of fun for all of us to be involved in. And that is every single wonderful Wednesday here on the Tubes of You, 10 a.m. Mountain Time. And I just caused myself to choke on my own spit.
Same.
Yeah, it's a good time. Sorry, I didn't mean to turn you on.
Ooh.
Every Freaky Friday, you can find us here on the Tubes of You, and this is our sort of video companion podcast, our decompression period for the show proper. And so we'll talk about things tangentially related to the topic from, the previous week, and then we will dive into an infamous Chuck Klosterman hypothetical as well, just to bring the whole thing to a close like a tight pucker. And it's entertaining. I guarantee it. Stick around and you'll find out how much of a liar I am.
Well, if you wanted honesty.
That's your Shane.
Do you want me to do my Shane?
I've been trying to get you to do it for years.
Well, if you wanted honesty, you have come to the wrong place. This is the Disinformed podcast.
Hey, listen, all. Have you tried to eat your own poop? Am I the only one who does that? Who loves their own brown? I like my own brown. My wife hates me. She's trying to leave me, but I keep chaining her into bed at night, and it's just strange.
I have
but,
many books.
My dogs lick everything on my body, and I love it.
I have sent John a canister of peanut butter.
I have, in fact, sent you that. Trying to get
Did I
you to
do
bulk up
good?
a little bit
Did
there.
I do good, Daz?
Dicker
Oh my
Chiff.
God. What?
Sure, yes.
Tell me that you're proud of me.
I'm never proud of you, John, but I appreciate that you try.
That's all that matters.
That participation trophy's in the mail.
Well, that's not good.
And not in that way that arouses you on the toilet. But I think that we are ready, unless, we want to talk about some satanic panic. If there's anything
I'm
that
satanic
springs
panicked
up.
out.
Understandably so.
I didn't want to talk about it either. I had already repressed that memory to be recalled later.
After
You
drinking
mean,
some hard
heavy
water.
weather part 2?
Yes.
Heavy weather, heavy water.
No,
Heavy weather.
That's
Heavy
mine
petting.
and Michael's band.
Heavy
weather.
weather.
Heavy weather.
Indeed.
Damn the heavy weather.
I like your bassist. He's great. Coming soon to a barbershop near you. Anywho,
What's Chucky got for us?
Chuck has got a really fun topic for us to sink our teeth
Ooh.
into,
A rip
and that
snorting
would
good
be
time.
Vampire Weekend.
Oh.
Oh, I
All right.
love the fake vampire teeth.
Trademark. So, if everyone is prepared,
Let's try it.
Give it to me.
allow me to put on my John version of me. It is the evening before your wedding. Everything is going as planned. You are spending... No. It's the evening before your wedding. Everything's going as planned. You're spending the afternoon with a few old friends, chatting casually about old times. Suddenly, your spouse-to-be bursts into the room, totally hysterical. Your spouse-to-be insists that she has just seen a vampire. When you ask what this means, she says, I was looking out the window of my hotel room, and I could see into the apartment building across the street. That's when I saw the vampire. I saw a man in a black cape bite a woman's neck and drink her blood. I know this must sound crazy, but I'm certain what I saw is real. Your prospective and sober spouse is in a state of panic and pleads with you to believe his or her story. You can tell that this is really, really important to him or her. Knowing the fragility of the situation and the intensity of the timing, do you tell your potential spouse that you do, in fact, completely believe that he or she saw a vampire across the street? All of your old friends are watching this conversation.
I mean,
I like this one a lot.
I feel like context is really, really important.
Mm-hmm.
Like they don't the prompt doesn't mention whether or not she has a history of like
Well,
Outbursts.
or like
yeah.
being like I can think of an ex-girlfriend right now who would like frequently like be like, I had these nightmares and they're so vivid and I'm sure that they're real, to the point where it's like, okay, all right.
Well, fresh on the heels of us discussing satanic ritual abuse syndrome, I find this topic to be very interesting.
true.
Also, I mean, again, like let's say that this person, this is like an isolated, like they never get freaked out or whatever.
Mm.
What's to say that what they saw across the street isn't just foreplay or like some kinky stuff?
I was gonna say, I mean, how do you know that he was actually drinking the blood?
Right.
Unless it's like the weird scene out of Underworld where it's like ravening and it's dripping everywhere and it's like, maybe.
Yeah.
I
So-
mean,
So I understand the question. The question is, do you participate in the hysteria?
Do you
essentially?
patronize the individual just to get through what you need to for the next couple days? Or do you take a moment and introspectively look at yourself and go, do I really want to marry this person? Do you believe that a vampire is, just exsanguinating someone across the way?
If this
break
is an
off the
isolated,
engagement.
yeah, if this is an isolated thing, and this is like one of like
Okay,
a
just
rare-
out of your hypothetical, this is your wife.
Yeah.
And
I feel
on
like
the
it would be
day of
easier
your
to just do that.
On the day of the wedding, she runs into the room. I will be present, as well as your sister and throngs
Okay.
of other folks. And she insists to us across the way, there's a vampire who has just bitten someone and has consumed them greedily and deeply.
I mean, with that context, I would say, hey, let's rush this wedding real quick and then see what the hell's happening over here. This
Where's
could
the
be fun.
camcorder?
Yeah. If
I
it was
join?
not that situation and it was not an isolated, let's say it was the other folk the person that I mentioned, it would have just been like, all right, so this was fun. This is a good try, and it would be like a little like pat on the head, and then it would be time to go.
Gonna go put you down. It's reasonable.
Let's go take a walk behind the shed.
Go look at the rabbits.
I
Michael?
guess I can go next. Sure.
It's our usual, rotation.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, like if it's my current curl,
My
curl,
girlfriend, my curly
curls.
friend.
If it's my current girlfriend, I mean, like she hasn't done that stuff before, and like she knows that. Yeah, sure. I'd be like, let's do it. I believe you. Let's go
Do
down
what?
right now. Drop everything. Let's go figure out
Trow?
this. Yes, I will
mean,
drop trow in front of my old friends.
I don't think
Let's
that there's
go.
a call to action of like grab a steak, let's go end this thing. It's more just you believe the
Shane.
story.
Oh,
Or you believe it.
Shane,
Oh, that changes.
his answer is his answer.
Okay,
This is
all
how
right.
he feels, and this is how he feels.
I'd
He
grab
doesn't
the
have to have a
nearest.
call to action, but he loves this person allegedly enough that that's what he's going to
Legally.
do.
I would grab the nearest table leg that's made of wood, snap it off, and like let's go to town. Let's go.
Well, what do you have against metal? I think metal could do the same thing. That
Well, it's a wooden stake that kills a vampire, John.
One
Not
might
a
argue
medium
it's
rare one?
the puncture through the heart.
Well, I mean, it doesn't matter how cooked it is; it's still a wooden stake.
Just envisioning him running around through the house now, just panic stricken and unable to get out.
Where's the wooden
table? Table leg? Table leg?
I need a leg.
Wooden. I need wood. I can't get
I
wood.
need-
I need wood right now,
I
real
need
bad.
wood.
Someone.
Give it to me.
You're giving him a
getting
lot
married,
of credit. You're giving him a lot of credit. It'd be, I need a toddler leg. A toddler leg.
No, I would probably take 5 minutes to explain why I need a particular type of wood, and that
Also-
like I think I saw one in the previous day that I was here.
Plywood won't do.
Yes, yeah, well, because plywood is it's not full solid wood, and
Do you
yes,
have
yes.
Do you have any mahogany?
do you have the balsamic wood?
mahogany. I like that.
Is that pine over there that you have? TK?
I know
What do you-
pine.
Do you?
Maybe.
You mean pine?
Pine.
Well, you're a sap if you do.
Miss
Miss Courtney.
Well, I would have qualifying questions.
Okay.
And I think my husband would know this about me. I would need
was
to
it
know
hot?
exactly. Was it a hot vampire? What
No. Was the biting action hot?
No.
Was it-
That's-
I
it's all the
don't. I
same
don't
thing.
care about that. Is the vampire hot, or is it like a creepy horror movie vampire? Because that would
Well, I mean,
really
it's-
like.
It's undead, so it's definitely
is it-
not hot.
Is it Edward or is it the dude from Blade 2?
Does
Or is it
sparkle?
or is it like Nandor from What We Do in the Shadows? Like
Oh, you got a thing for Nandor?
we gotta talk. about
Laszlo?
something
What?
here.
No.
What?
I mean, Nadia does it for me. So
I mean, she's hot. as-
good
you
catch.
know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hello?
What?
Quoi?
So really, because I know that he knows me, if he was going to have that moment, which would be very out of character for him, I think I'd believe him. I think I'd be like, cool, now give me the details. But also, if it's a hot vampire, like this thing's kind of canceled. And I think he'd be okay with that.
Do you really want to
Okay.
live forever? Fame.
Well, we did talk about the immortality thing a few weeks ago. So
Yes.
we answered that. I don't think Courtney was there though.
I think that there is an interesting point to be made here, that trying to inject a little reason. Firstly, the story does indicate, and I should have broached this a little bit earlier, but I was holding on to it for myself. It says you're spending an afternoon with some of your friends, hanging out and reminiscing about old times, and here comes your significant other claiming to have seen a vampire. So first one is like, okay, so you're telling me the Daywalker is with us because vampires aren't going to be floating around right now. You may have seen some, a couple with some filed down teeth engaging in some otherwise known as erotic activity. And I am sorry that we haven't gotten up to anything that weird yet, honey, but it's fine. You can leave folks to their kinks. We don't judge. But yeah, I feel some of these things would require a significant amount of discussion in order for us to get back down to base facts here and say, like,
Right.
no, I don't think you really saw that, did you?
Probably a little too couple too many mimosas.
Well, and this is
And
your
some
sober.
Adderall.
It's your sober.
Oh, that's right.
It
significant
did
other.
specify, yeah.
So, but I also feel like if this is my current significant other, she would take all of this in stride, and being the lucid dreamer that she is, would just assume this was another one of her nightmares that broke off of us being married to us being consumed alive by, undead
This
creatures.
is my nightmare.
I truthfully, and I'm sorry, honey, you'll hate me for this later on, I'm sure, or she won't really care. She has a lot of zombie nightmares apparently, and is not very fond of them. So it would just be a hair's turn around the bend to get us into vampires. So I don't think that I would be going whole hog into this. But we could talk our way through it. This isn't like let's call the whole thing off kind of vibes. It's just
It's a bad day.
What did you
Yeah.
really see? Tell me in detail.
So I'm still good to go.
Mhm.
Shane's still, for the most part, good to go as
Oh, yeah.
well. Michael is killing somebody without putting him to trial.
He's just staking people throughout the
provocation.
street.
And Courtney is more so looking on if she can diversify the wedding.
You got to keep your options open. It's
Yeah.
really important. And who am I to not live out my passions of my 13-year-old self?
Yeah.
So in my screen, it's Shane and I on the top, and then Michael and Courtney here on the bottom. So the top panels here, we're about prolonging, and then the bottom is about penetration.
That's right.
True. Yeah, there you go.
I don't think I can. Yeah, I don't think I can put it any more adeptly than that. Leave it to John to encapsulate something in a coffin.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So we've been doing these After Darks for a hot second here.
Mhm,
Have we even made a dent in the Klostermans?
I mean, I haven't given myself a Klosterman in a while, so I can't say.
What
Since
about
I
that
do not
doctor?
pre-screen, Dr. Acula, oddly enough, he has very keen and probing insight into many of my bodily orifices, but he has not opened my Klosterman yet.
I'm just saying we're not going to have to start coming up with our own for a minute still.
I mean, I don't foresee us coming up with our own for a good long while here,
Nice.
if and we could manage it.
Oh.
But I do. was there subtext to this or
No, I'm just
Yeah,
asking because they're still interesting. I don't think except for the one that we mentioned, the elderly one, the immortality one, most of the prompts are pretty good and they don't belabor the point too much. So I was just wondering how much, like, at some point I imagine these are going to start kind of like collapsing into themselves a little bit.
Mhm.
Like you already can tell that they're written by the same person, but at a certain point I'm wondering when we'll finally get the prompt that's like, that sounds like something that we've answered before.
I have them distinguished from one another
No,
from the questions that we have already been over. So
no, he's getting at the subjects might overlap even if we haven't asked this question before.
Right, like if he's touching on something with a similar like theme.
I feel like he's vetted these questions and like they wouldn't be like, oh well, he asked if the snowman was gonna bite him or if the vampire was gonna bite him, so we're not gonna put both of them in there.
yeah, considering
that was the
we
first
have-
thing that came to mind. Don't judge me.
Yeah, we've gone from kicking a horse to death to whether or not you would be willing to allow or a gorilla to play football. And,
Okay, fair point.
I mean, just, yeah, I don't think any of the, to the moon fight, which the jury is still out on. I think we've had enough disparity in the
Right.
topics that they don't blend into one another very readily.
All right. Okay.
And
that
none of
makes
us
sense.
would sleep with a hobo in order to cure world hunger. So
I missed
Courtney?
that one. I would definitely, 100%.
I think I said I would take one for the team. I can't remember.
I was gonna
A little
say,
bit more than one.
how dare you insult your husband like that, Courtney?
Well, also,
Ooh-wee.
I guess a Happy New Year is in order. as well.
Indeed.
The viewers here.
Yes, because that should be very close to.
It's
New
the
Year.
day this drops.
Oh
Mhm.
yeah, Happy New Year.
Yeah.
Hopefully, it's
Sorry that
better
you're
than
ringing it in this way.
2020.
How dare you?
Ouch.
This is
Could
the
have done
beginning of the
something.
day. Remember, 10 a.m., not 10 p.m.
Oh, okay, fair.
But you can
So-
watch it any time. We are, in fact, a
Yeah.
movable feast, as we've established.
And how?
Yes. Also, as a quick tease here, for those of you who have stuck around, Monday's episode is going to unveil the insidious history of Baby New Year.
Ooh.
I honestly have not a single idea what that means.
Well, you will know. You're going to learn today or
Gotta
next
learn you
week
something.
or sometime.
Mhm.
And I'm going to do the whole thing in the Sling Blade voice, so it's going to be very entertaining.
Can't wait.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Don't
Good times
tease me
for all.
like that.
Well.
Thank you. Well, whenever
Oh,
you want to
jeez.
wrap it up, friend, I mean, I'm not stopping you. I don't want to be an
And-
impediment to you
and-
putting a bullet in
And
this
I'm
thing.
rolling. Just so you know, I'm rolling. Are we ready to snap?
I think so. Yeah.
Is this a fade out?
I am.
Somebody's faded. I don't know who, but funny as I'm thinking about this, I don't know if any of you actually walk around, but so I refuse to pay for a gym membership even in the times when they're not just plague-ridden places. But really, we're adjusting the height on the chair now. I just walk either around my neighborhood or I'll go onto campus and stroll around there because they have really wonderful and well-maintained walking paths. But so in walking through my neighborhoods now, I don't feel like I am noticing more places where I walk through a wafting plume of weed as I stroll past people's backyards. I don't feel like it's any more notable than it was prior to things being legalized. And I felt like I would have noticed an uptake, and I don't know if that's just me being cynical, but I do still walk through waves, and I find myself having to challenge my train of thought where I'm not just strolling by somebody's backyard and like, good God, you couldn't keep it in the house? Like, come on. Are you trying to get busted? Is this the whole goal of
Yeah,
like,
'cause
let me
it's-
saturate the
I am-
neighborhood?
It's not
That's-
fully legal yet. It gets put into effect in March or February or something like
You
that.
got to
it's
know
good.
there are people who are not paying attention to that.
Oh,
No, it's
started
already good.
immediately after
It's already
November
good.
just started
Oh shit! It passed.
rocking it. Yeah.
Well, no, everything's accounted for. March is when dispensaries will be able to start selling. But
Yeah.
as of now, you can have it in your possession. Like nothing's
Oh.
gonna happen to you. As of
Oh,
like
okay,
as of
okay.
like I think a month ago.
Homie's
Mhm.
rocking the ganj.
Which is really funny
Ooh-wee.
because last I don't know if this is just another moment of you just knowing my brain or like what's like if we're just like still synced up that way, but
Possible.
I had an old friend of mine, or you know him as well. He dropped by and saw me at work yesterday, and he was like, "Hey, I have something for you," and he threw it at me, and they were like cookies, and he goes, "So this one that's wrapped in red is good, and this one that's wrapped in with the white ribbon, I call
Is
that the
bad."
moon, and that's 5 milligrams, and this one that's wrapped with the red ribbon, I call that Mars, and that's 30 milligrams."
Jeez.
And he did this last year as well, and I don't think I even ate him last year because I wasn't really messing with it, but for the first time ever I was like, oh, I'm not even worried about having this. Like I put it in my backpack, and on my drive home I was like, even if I get pulled over, like I'm good. All right. So it's a really weird feeling. So maybe maybe just because we're not hanging out with our bandmates as much, or just
Yeah, I was gonna say it's not outing anybody here for their general proclivities, but considering
Cough,
that
cough.
it's as foreign to me as every other thing on the planet that's fun, I find it very weird that I'm checking myself now as that whole like I still don't think it's something I'm ever going to take part in, just because I'm
Fair.
far too fond of being in control of my faculties to really let anything off of the chain. But
Right.
it's still walking
Yeah.
through, as I hit probably 2 to 3 patches last night that were potent, like the worst skunk weed I have encountered in a good
Huh.
long while. And I was like, God damn, can't you just find a place where you could just isolate a little bit and keep that to yourself? Because
That was the nice thing about moving from the west side of Phoenix to the east side of Phoenix, is that like it was nowhere near as bad quality just walking through. Because that would just be like living in Peoria. Anywhere you walk past, like you smell some weed, it was like a full-on skunk in your face.
back to
All right,
the
old
is
man.
the COVID vaccine an indica? By John's post.
Yeah, so is the vaccine an indica or sativa?
We've fully transitioned into the Joe Rogan podcast again. Here we go.
Oh,
tried DMT?
boy.
Thought about it.
Ate,
I wrote a song
elk-
about it. Here it goes.
You ever tried elk jerky?
You know what? I'm keen on trying some elk jerky.
Oh, I got some for you.
By the way, John, I'm
tried
going to work on
years
my rear
ago.
naked choke with you, so get ready.
Here's me wishing you
Ooh.
would.
Michael, you were saying.
Oh no, I tried like elk jerky years ago.
I tried.
The Michael Clark story.
Period.
No, I would still be talking about it. I would have like set the scene, said what year it was, said the professor or the
Hey,
teacher explained what he did.
Could you tell us that riveting story again about that time that you smoked weed? Because
Oh, so there I was.
No one
It was
cares.
my
I
do
think
you
I'm
keep
sorry. I
this
didn't mean to
guy?
prolong the madness. It was my own fault.
Well, you kind of provoked it by asking me about the time that I smoked weed. So
I did. Yes.
yes.
He's very paranoid about that story.
I don't want
I
to get
love telling it.
All right. Well,
30-minute story.
no. Okay. Well, we appreciate all of you turning in for Disinformed After Dank. And it's been a lot of fun having y'all. We hope that you continue to stroll back in our general direction sometime soon. And we appreciate you being here week after week, year after year. And we are now in our 3rd calendar year of this thing being an actuality.
Oh,
Weird.
shoot. Oh, that's crazy.
Terrifying, is it not?
Whoa.
Well, thank you all for being here. I believe that we're going to be able to sign off in mere moments after I clarify that for the Disinformed podcast After Dark, I am Kenton Eldorado.
I am Timothy Lone Cactus. I have no idea what that is.
It's a
Midsummer.
hydrangea, buddy. It's a flower.
Oh, it
You're a
honestly
flower.
looked like a wadded up paper ball. with
Hydroponics? Are we still on pot?
leaves. Speaking
Bags
of
of sand.
I am Robert Greer.
And a horticulturalist, apparently.
Ooh.
Bless you.
And I'm Jean Grey Ghost.
Well, everyone's favorite X-Men. Okay. As we have always said and will continue to extol all of you, please always remember to live, laugh, and lie. Shoot.
Oh, no.
I was going to nail the dismount. I hit it. I hit a click.